Eneco's customer service agent is capable of a wide variety of tasks, from looking up account details to troubleshooting common issues. Starting in Copilot Studio, I already have the agent opened and set up with various knowledge sources, triggers, and other capabilities needed to answer a wide range of questions for customers. But let's make it smarter. I want to enhance it to give customers the ability to pay a utility bill, schedule a service installation, and autonomously perform sentiment analysis after a service call. Let's start with the utility bill. I'll start in the new flow area of Copilot Studio and create a new flow. I picked a flow because bill pay is a structured, deterministic process. Previously, Eneco had to build agents and flows separately, but with agent flows in Copilot Studio, they can now design the agent as a whole rather than in parts. I have the option to create a flow generatively the same way I create agents, simply by describing it in natural language. Once I've described it, Copilot Studio will suggest a flow for me. It will include a trigger, tools, and even AI builder and generative actions to control the logic I described. I'll review the suggested apps and services to ensure the connections are working. With the flow created, I can fine-tune the logic in the designer. But I like the way this looks, so I'll publish it. Once I've published the flow, it now becomes available to be used as a tool. I can take the new flow, and with just a few clicks, I've added it to my agent. From here, I can call it like I would any other tool. Eneco can reuse this flow across any agents they build in the future, making deploying new agents progressively faster. This is looking good so far, but let's take things to the next level. Eneco's agent can handle a lot of tasks without needing employee intervention, but it can't install solar panels or electric chargers. That requires people in the field. Deep reasoning can give my agent the sophisticated decision-making skills to match a field installer with a customer without a field service dispatcher doing it manually. Once enabled, I can edit my instructions and ask it to use reason to make a recommendation for a field service technician. It will base the recommendation on the account management systems, field service databases, and the details of the customer's request. And it can do it in seconds compared to the minutes it would take a human representative. A little later, I'll show you what the deep reasoning output looks like. All right, so I've modified my agent to include a deterministic flow, and I've added deep reasoning to help match a customer request with a technician. The role of this agent can continue even outside of the confines of the customer interaction by tracking how the customer felt about the end-to-end service experience after an installation. I can do that by adding a prompt from the Tools page. Tools are extensible capabilities that can be added to agents. They include the features you know and love, like triggers, actions, and connectors. But they include a few new goodies too. One of them is the Model Context Protocols, or MCP server. MCP servers allow you to securely connect and sync the agent directly with the systems where data lives. The computer using agent may have also caught your eye, but we'll save that one for another time. Let's select a prompt. I can start with a template or create my own. To help the agent understand customer feedback sentiment, I'll create a prompt that uses the PHI model, courtesy of Azure AI Foundry. Increasingly, AI-savvy customers like Eneco rely on multiple AI models that specialize in certain types of analysis. I selected PHI because it excels at extracting intent from the customer survey data. To visually understand the trends, this prompt has a code interpreter added to generate charts from the quantitative feedback. When I test it, the resulting response is a combination of sentiment analysis of the OpenText customer feedback combined with the chart of the quantitative scoring. Now, whenever a customer feedback is submitted, a report is generated and emailed to the technician. The report will include an overview of services provided and a summary of the customer feedback. And, like other AI tools, Eneco's team will be able to make these prompts into a reusable library that can help them deploy additional agents even faster. Okay, I've created an agent capable of both conversational and autonomous actions. It's smart enough to know when to use what prompts, knowledge, and flows to make complex decisions. That's a lot, so testing and debugging will be key. To help me understand the agent's logic, Copilot Studio now uses AI to formulate a natural language explanation. I'll start by testing the sentiment analysis prompt I created a minute ago. I'll pick a customer survey being submitted as the trigger. I'll run this test with a previously used trigger and can watch as the agent's decision tree builds. Copilot Studio's generative AI capabilities go through all those prompts, knowledge articles, flows, and tools I've added. It will then figure out the best approach to the puzzle it's been presented with. If I want to know how it came to its decision, I can review the thought process of the agent's actions to ensure it makes sense and matches what I intended. I can also test the agent's conversational abilities. Here, I'll simulate a customer interaction to test its ability to process a service change. The generative orchestration capabilities of Copilot Studio understands that there are two requests in one without getting tripped up. The agent responds to both of my questions and asks a question of its own. It then comes back with a recommended time. But how did it pick that time and that field service tech? I can follow its thought process by seeing the deep reasoning model in action. It gives me a detailed analysis of its reasoning and how it took various factors into account to make its recommendation. It's tools like these that make perfecting agents simpler than ever for companies like Eneco. So I built an agent that works, but how well does it work? To test that, we're introducing the evaluation framework. This framework provides multiple methods to generate test cases. This will make for a structured validation process that is easy to replicate. There are 3 approaches the evaluation framework supports. The first is that I can convert the test conversations I had with the agent into automated evaluation scenarios. Second, I can import a file with predefined business-specific test questions. And third, I can create AI-generated test cases based on a combination of the agent's description, topics, and knowledge base. I'll select AI-generated test cases, and it will create a set of questions for me to review. I can add my own or ask it to generate a new batch, but these look pretty good. So I'll run the test and wait for it to complete. When they're ready, I can evaluate the results. Most of the responses passed, but in the event that I wasn't happy with any of the answers, I always have the option to add new or different knowledge sources or tools. With the agent deployed, I can monitor how it and my other agents are performing with analytics. These analytics will help Eneco understand usage patterns, identify areas for improvement, and optimize performance. I can see metrics like the resolution rate, the escalation rate, and the abandonment rate. I can improve my agent's performance by reviewing Copilot's suggestions. It tells me it's struggling to answer questions about service outages, so it suggests that I supplement its knowledge with a data source that shows the service status. Copilot makes it easy for me to act on its suggestions by taking me straight to the knowledge area. I'll select a database with real-time information about service status for each customer's address. A couple of clicks later, and I've added a new information source that will make my agent smarter. So what have we done? Within a short period of time, I've taken a customer service agent and expanded it with far more capabilities, including a new autonomous trigger. I've tested it, validated it, and evaluated its performance. Then I followed its suggestions to close its knowledge gaps. In just minutes, I was able to take an agent and evolve it with deeper reasoning and an ever-improving ability to meet the needs of my customers.